What's going on, everyone? So I am really excited for the upcoming I Know What You Did Last Summer, as I'm sure many of you are. I do have some concerns about like the repetitiveness, right? Because they did it in the series, they did it in the original where, they hit somebody and, the story, they hit somebody, they come back for revenge to come after them. So I do have some concerns in that regard, but overall, I am excited for it. I'm looking forward to see Jennifer Love Hewitt, Freddie Prinze Jr. reprise the roles as Julie and Ray. But the thing that I'm most excited about is the potential of freshness and mystery, right? Because the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, you knew what it was about, right? Like even the trailer told you. I mean, you could even see the killer in some shots, right? Like you knew the gist, right? Group of teens hit somebody, try to cover it up. They come back for revenge. Straightforward, simple, boom, right? But this version, they could, yes, go that exact same route, right? Which I do have, again, concerns about that. It's essentially a remake of the original, but they're just counting it as a legacy sequel, right? Again, I do have some concerns in that regard, but my hope is that they keep a level of freshness, they keep a level of excitement, because you have no idea who or what the killer is. I would rather them go the misleading route that they tried to do in the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, where, oh, it's Ray, right? Or, it's somebody that knew, it was somebody that was in the know. It wasn't the revenge. It wasn't the guy that survived, right? I would rather go that route where somebody just kind of snaps, or, it's like a family member or something like that of the person they ran over, whatever, right? I'd rather them kind of go that route, which, yes, it is a typical horror trope. Yes, it's something that we've seen in other horror franchises, but at least it's something that is new to this franchise. And it's not just like, hey, we're just going to do the same thing you saw in a series a few years ago and in the original, right? I'd rather them kind of just keep it fresh, right? But I do like the sense of mystery, right? Because this is kind of the first I Know What You Did Last Summer. I mean, you could argue the second one, but again, the trailer kind of gave it away, and you kind of knew what was going to happen here. But with this installment, right, it could be an array of characters, right? Like I said, it could be the revenge factor, right? Maybe they run over a kid and the dad comes back. Maybe it's, a brother. Maybe it's somebody in the group, right? Maybe it's, an outside character that we're going to learn about and find out about. Maybe it's, somebody from the past, right? Like there's a lot of potential that they can really lean into to really kind of not only captivate new audiences that are discovering this franchise and kind of coming in, right? But also us that grew up with the franchise and are familiar with the franchise, or even people that maybe necessarily didn't grow up with it, but they are familiar with the franchise, and it is a franchise that they like and love, right? Can't be much worse than that third movie, right? Like, it's funny how many people are like, there's a third movie, and I'm like, don't worry about it. You didn't miss anything, right? But as long as they're not going down some like crazy supernatural route or anything like that, where he comes back from the dead or something, Ben Willis, then I'm good in that regard. But no, it's one thing to kind of have the repetitive Hollywood. It's like, hey, let's take all these old classics, all these films that, were beloved in the horror space. It's kind of like the trend in horror right now, right? Take these franchises, remake them, give them legacy sequels or direct sequels or requels or whatever, remakes, whatever they want to do in that sense, right? Do that, captivate a new audience, right? Upset the previous audience because it's like, this is nothing like what it's supposed to be, and then rinse and repeat is kind of how it goes. And look, I'm not saying that there haven't been bad or good remakes. There have been good remakes. There have been good, sequels and legacy sequels and stuff like that. But there's also been a lot of duds where you're just kind of like, ugh, like this is not what we expected. And I really want them to do a good job here. But it's one thing to do that. It's one thing to rebrand the franchise or whatever, right? It's another thing to just like completely shot for shot, carbon copy a franchise that already exists, right? Like, it's one thing, give me a creative story here. Give me something different. I already have the concerns that, like, you're giving us the same story we had already seen. Again, it's not like those films don't exist. You don't think most people that are going to go watch this are going to be like, oh, okay, well, let me watch the originals, right? Like how many people are going to go in that and have never seen I Know What You Did Last Summer, right? Like I'm not saying that there won't be some, but it's probably, the minority compared to the people that have seen the original, even just kind of in passing or leading into this film or whatever, right? Especially when this is going to be a sequel. So to me, it's like, can we have some level of freshness, right? Outside of just the mystery of who the killer is going to be. Because that's exciting. That's an exciting element. That's an exciting path. But my concern is going to go watch this film. And it's like, I've already seen this. And I've seen it twice now. Because they did it with the series, which I thought the series was awful. Like I thought the Amazon series, I Know What You Did Last Summer Amazon series, I thought it was just like, it was like unwatchably bad. I watched it because, do this for a living. So, I got to talk about it and stuff. But yeah, it was not something that I was like, oh, this was a great show. Like, and that's now my concern because it's like you're doing it again. And it wasn't bad. Like, to the defense of this film, right? Because I want to make this clear. Like the series wasn't bad because they just essentially remade the original film. The series was bad because it was bad, right? Even if they are essentially remaking the original film to an extent, right? There's still a chance that it could be good. There's still a chance that, that they do right by this. But I want there to be this freshness for people like myself and many others that are familiar with the franchise, that do love the franchise, that do want to see this franchise continue and have success, right? Like I don't want to see it be something where, it's like it's just they're just making this one and then they're just gonna remake part 2 and then like Scream 5 and 6. It's part of the problem that I had with that. And Scream is my favorite horror franchise. But I've been very critical about Scream 5 and 6 because they did in a lot of ways. Like Scream 5 was essentially 96 remastered. And it's like, and they even said their excuse was like, hey, this was a fan film. This was like kind of the homage to Wes Craven. Okay, fine, no problem. But then you watch Scream 6 and yes, they did do a lot of things different. But the basis of it was essentially Scream 2. And it's like, I don't need the same thing over and over again. If I want to watch I Know What You Did Last Summer, I can watch the original I Know What You Did Last Summer. I want to see something. I want to see a new, fresh take on the franchise. I want to see something fun and exciting and maintain this level of mystery and kind of lean towards the like what's going to happen aspect of it rather than like, oh, here's just, the classic once again. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? How do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.